Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out something called Dyatlov Pass by developer Rocketship. This is a first-person horror game and I haven't actually played much of any of it, so I'm not sure to what degree it will be violent or jump scary, so be aware if that's a thing that bothers you at all, you may want to bow out on this one, but thankfully I cover a huge variety of games. If you want to stop back again tomorrow, there'll be a different one. So if you're not aware, the Dyatlov Pass incident was actually a real thing that happened in the Ural Mountains. I think it was 1959. It was a series of 9 campers who all, for whatever reason, it was a bit of a natural phenomenon or maybe an unnatural one, they're not really sure. Essentially, they were found all dead, trying to escape from their campsite from something that they're not entirely sure what it was. Many of them were in their socks or barefooted, and there was like radioactivity all over them. Some of them seemed to have incredibly tanned skin all of a sudden for some reason. It was a strange incident, and seems like prime fodder to make a horror game out of. So I'm very interested to see how this gets approached, and you should also look into the Dyatlov Pass incident a bit more also if you have any interest in this idea. It's a pretty creepy thing, but they're saying most likely it was an avalanche. Not really sure how the radioactivity and things came out. And there was even stories about maybe people's tongues were removed and things, so I don't know. There's perhaps various other things in play here, but let's start it off and see what happens, shall we? So we're gonna wake up in some sort of snowy plain, and as we look around here, I'm noticing some very unnatural rock formations off in the distance, which I'm gonna guess probably not things you would find generally. So maybe we're actually taking a bit of a liberty with this story. Maybe they could be, maybe not, I don't know. This is probably not rocks like that, though, is all I'm saying. So it looks like we've got a trail of photos leading off in this direction, kind of pushing us forward, of course. I'm going to assume that these are probably actually photos that were taken of that area. I don't know if they're, journalists that took them or if they're somehow from the actual event. I don't know how that works exactly because, 1959 was there? Oh. Okay, so it's like Russian folk music. It's very quiet. What's going on in this picture here? It's like people digging. Something creepy. Makes sense that it would be. More walking or skiing, perhaps. Say people sitting in a classroom or by a table. I can't really tell. It looks like a blackboard in the background, maybe. Got a lady standing in some kind of, I don't know, looks like an institution, like a facility of some kind. Some people palling around, hugging each other. What's off in this direction? I kind of want to see over here, because obviously the photos are leading me in that direction. If you've watched me play games ever, you know I love to break what I'm supposed to do and go in other ways. So let's see what's over in this way. It seems like a pretty open field. I'm walking very slowly. There's a grain filter. Things feel very meticulous, very kind of monotone as well in terms of color scheme, which certainly aids a little bit in tension. I can't jump, by the way, in case you're wondering. I also can't run or duck, so it looks like forward motion is all we're going to get on this one, so I really hope that there's something going on over here that we can look at. Otherwise, we got a bit of a trek to get back to the proper course. I'm going to assume that there's probably something over here. Why would you give us all this room to wander around and then nothing to see, right? At the very least, I'd like to get a better look of our surroundings, a look at our surroundings by getting maybe up a little bit higher. Oh, can we see off into the distance here? There's quite a bit of fog. Oh yeah, those are very strange rocks, and it seems that we've found our borderline for how far we're allowed to walk, so I guess we're not going to be going any further in this direction. I'm gonna go ahead and say that probably this isn't worth our time to keep heading over here, because it looks like nothing really interesting on the other side of those trees, and down in that valley, just some snowy texture stuff going on. So, alright, I guess that's gonna be that then. Let's head back over to the proper path. I do regret it a little bit, but these are the risks we take as we're, looking around in indie games. You never know when there's gonna be something that you're not meant to see that all of a sudden is more interesting than the thing you were meant to see, and, well, it's all about wonder and discovery here on Indie Impressions, right? Alright, so it looks like we've got a little bit of a walk yet. We might be able to cut through the woods, maybe. Unless there's fences. I think there might be fences, actually. Yeah, I think we're meant only to walk in a certain designated spot. So, you can take it from me Just skip the whole, you know, going outside of the boundaries thing. Yeah, you get it. One thing I'm noticing here that, I don't know if this is actually, yeah, they are actually probably the same. Okay, I was going to say the trees look somewhat diverse, but I think they're just placed in a way that makes them not stand out a lot until I'm looking at it very carefully. Now, I guess all these trees sort of have the same edges to them, don't they? Yeah, maybe they do. But, you know, at first glance, they didn't seem to be that way. Okay, we got the skiers. More skiing. Standing. We can ski, we can stand, we can hug. The whole human condition represented here. Alright, so all of a sudden, these photos don't seem to be very photographic anymore. It looks like pictures of just the snow now. This is, I guess, sort of a Blair Witch moment. We're sort of running in the darkness. And, I don't know, is that the moon? Is that a flashlight? Oh, there's actually a bit of Russian here that I'd like to be able to zoom into. I don't think I'm able to, though. Not that I could read the Russian anyway, but, you know, anyway, it's probably, looks like a quote of some kind. At least I'm going to assume it's a quote because it seems to be attributed to someone at the bottom, maybe. Or maybe it's just someone signing off. What is... Oh. I certainly didn't expect that. There was also a little bit of mention of people in a neighboring area. Oh, wolves. Cool. People apparently in a neighboring area saw some orange orbs in the sky the same night that this incident occurred, which is, I think, what's fueled a lot of speculation about supernatural origins for things. And could I just slip through? Oh, that would be great if we could have just slipped right through the fence and then not had to walk back the other way. It's certainly a pretty creepy image. I mean, maybe it's the little hair that's sticking through. It looks a little bit like a face from this direction, where in this direction maybe you wouldn't see it as much. Now, the good horror play would have been to transform all of the photos we'd seen into slightly scarier versions when we go back in the other direction. But instead, we're going to follow those wolves and hope that now there's something over in this way. Wish we could go a little bit Oh. I don't know what that was a picture of, but it flashed by very quickly. I wish I could go a little bit faster, but it seems like that's just not in the cards for me. I was holding down shift, by the way, for like this entire thing. And that's not a thing. Just doing it out of habit, I suppose. So, okay. Interesting. Now that it's night, the way has been illuminated by the photos. And it looks like we're about to enter some kind of a facility. Oh, it's just opening up for me. How welcoming. Nice little frosty pattern going on the outside there. It certainly does feel a little bit chill. What kind of horrible abominations might we run into in here? Will we get chased? Something spooky gonna happen? Uh-oh. What is all this about? Oh, there we go. There's a jump scare for you. So that probably couldn't have happened, given that there's actually a cage. This person looks like they've seen better days, but we'll maybe be using this rifle. Also, does that rifle make sense? Yeah, who am I? I don't know guns, but it seemed like the design of it seemed a little unorthodox. Oh! What? I ran out. I ran out of bullets. You know, yeah, alright, that's what I thought. I was gonna say, if you're meant to kill me, that was your chance. It's the end of the demo version, it looks like. Alright, well, honestly, that held my attention more than I expected. I was hoping it was longer, and I expected it to be longer, but what are you gonna do? Them's horror games.